Let's talk about the Nile crocodile. When we picture one, we usually think of this prehistoric monster, a symbol of pure, raw power. And yeah, that's part of the story. But we're about to uncover a creature that is so much more complex. A creature that really challenges everything we think we know about this ancient giant.
First, just try to wrap your head around its history. The Nile crocodile has been on this planet looking pretty much the same as it does today for over 80 million years. That means it literally watched the dinosaurs come and go. This isn't just an animal, it's a living fossil, a true master of survival that has seen it all.
And then, of course, there's that legendary power. The force in its bite is just almost impossible to imagine. We're talking strong enough to shatter bone like it's a piece of glass. This is more than just strength. It's a masterpiece of biological engineering that very few animals on Earth can even come close to.
But here's the twist, the incredible paradox that's at the heart of this whole story. This exact same creature, with those bone-crushing jaws, uses that very same mouth to gently, carefully carry its newborn babies to safety. This is where the monster becomes a mother. And believe me, this is where the story gets really, really interesting.
So, to really understand the crocodile, you first have to respect its power. Evolution has had millions of years to perfect this animal, turning it into one of the most efficient predators this planet has ever seen. Its entire body is just a testament to predatory perfection.
Okay, so look at this comparison. A Nile crocodile's bite force is about 1,600 kilograms. Now a human bite, a measly 80 kilograms. It's not even in the same league. The crocodile's jaws don't just bite, they absolutely obliterate. But here's the crazy part. The muscles it uses to open its jaw are incredibly weak. A person could literally hold a huge crocodile's mouth shut with just their hands. Though, I really would not recommend you ever try that.
And all of that immense power gets channeled into its most famous hunting move, the death roll. It all starts with a lightning-fast ambush from the water's edge. Once it gets a grip, there's just no escape. The prey gets dragged underwater to be drowned, and then the crocodile starts to spin its entire body with this explosive, incredible force. This violent rotation literally tears the carcass apart. It's brutal, it's efficient, and honestly, it's a terrifying spectacle of nature in action.
And the tools for the job? Well, they're relentless. A young croc has up to 80 razor-sharp, cone-shaped teeth. They aren't for chewing, oh no. They're designed for one thing, locking on like a steel trap. And get this, if a tooth breaks, no problem. Another one just grows right in its place, up to 50 times over its entire life. It's like a conveyor belt of teeth. And once it swallows its food whole, one of the most acidic stomachs in the animal kingdom takes over, dissolving everything, hide, bone, even hooves. They even swallow rocks to help grind up their meals from the inside.
But, like we hinted at, the story of the crocodile isn't just about being a brutal predator. If you can look past the teeth and that terrifying death roll, you find a creature with a surprisingly complex and, dare I say, tender family life. This is where the story really takes a fascinating turn.
This one sentence just perfectly captures the two sides of the Nile crocodile. It's this incredible contrast that makes you see the animal in a totally new light. The very same instrument of death is also a cradle for new life. So, how is that even possible? Well, it all comes down to an instinct for parental care that is just as powerful as its instinct to hunt.
And this timeline just shows you that incredible dedication. After mating, the female digs a nest and lays her eggs. Then for the next 3 months, she becomes this vigilant guardian. She stays right by that nest, fighting off predators like monitor lizards. And get this, she does it all without eating. Nothing. Then when she hears these tiny chirps from under the sand, she carefully digs them out, helps them break their shells, and then one by one, gently carries them in her mouth to the safety of the water.
But even with that amazing level of care, the world is still a really dangerous place for a baby crocodile. They're only about 30 centimeters long when they hatch, and they're basically a snack for birds, big fish, even other crocodiles. The odds are just stacked against them. On average, only 1 out of every 50 hatchlings will actually make it to adulthood. It's a harsh reminder of just how tough life is in the wild.
Okay, here's another layer of coolness for you. Crocodiles don't have sex chromosomes like we do. Nope. Instead, the temperature of the nest decides if the babies will be boys or girls. Cooler temperatures between 26 and 30 degrees Celsius, you get mostly females. Warmer temps, between 31 and 34 degrees, you get mostly males. And because a nest is naturally cooler at the bottom and warmer at the top, a single batch of eggs will usually produce a nice mix of both. How wild is that?
So this animal's ability to be a parent is just one part of a much bigger story of resilience. I mean, to stick around for 80 million years, you need a seriously impressive set of skills. The Nile crocodile is basically a living masterclass in survival.
Now, the key to understanding a lot of crocodile behavior is knowing that they're cold-blooded, or ectothermic. All that means is they can't make their own body heat like we can. Their body temperature totally depends on the world around them. Now, that might sound like a weakness, but the crocodile has turned it into a massive advantage for saving energy.
This is why, if you're ever lucky enough to be on safari in Africa, you'll see this classic sight: crocodiles just laying on the riverbank with their mouths wide open. It looks super menacing, right? But it's actually this brilliant way of controlling their temperature. In the morning, the sun warms up the blood in their mouth, heating up their whole body. Then, in the heat of the afternoon, moisture evaporates from that same surface, acting like a built-in air conditioner to cool them down.
And their senses are just as amazing. At night, a special reflective layer in their eyes basically acts like a light amplifier, which is what gives them that spooky, glowing eye look and superb night vision. Underwater, a clear third eyelid slides across, acting like a pair of built-in swimming goggles. Their whole body is designed for stealth. Only their eyes, ears, and nostrils poke above the water. And that huge tail? It's not just for power, it's also a fat reserve, like a pantry they can use when food is scarce.
Okay, so we've seen the predator and the parent, but there's one last role the Nile crocodile plays, and it might just be the most important and most overlooked: its role as a guardian of its entire ecosystem.
It all comes down to this really surprising chain reaction. So, crocodiles love to eat catfish. Those catfish, in turn, love to eat smaller fish like tilapia. And what do tilapia eat? They eat tons and tons of mosquito larvae. So by keeping the catfish numbers down, crocodiles are actually helping the tilapia population thrive. And more tilapia means fewer mosquitoes, which can directly lead to a lower risk of malaria for people living nearby. So yeah, the feared river predator is in a very real way a protector of human health.
So, what is the Nile crocodile, really? Is it just a monster, a ruthless killer, or is it something more? It's a dedicated parent, a master of survival, and an essential guardian of its environment. It is an 80-million-year-old masterpiece of evolution, a creature that deserves not just our fear, but our deepest respect. It reminds us that out here in the wild, the line between predator and protector is often one and the same.